Israel-Hamas war updates. Israel says it will raid Al-Shifa ministry. This live page is now closed. Thank you for joining us. Follow along with all the updates on the Israel-Gaza war here. Read more about how staff at Gaza City's Al-Shifa hospital have buried dozens of patients in a mass grave as fighting rages around the health complex here. Read more about how Hezbollah is calculating its fight against Israel with an eye towards its domestic audience here. Or listen to our podcast on what protests can achieve in terms of efforts to block U.S. military aid to Israel here. We'll soon be closing this live page. Here's a recap of today's events. Ashraf al-Qudra, spokesman of the Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza, says Israel informed Gaza officials it will raid Al-Shifa hospital complex in Gaza City. A doctor at Al-Shifa has reported continuous bombing around the medical center, forcing patients and health workers to move into the hallways for safety. The health ministry in Gaza said the hospital is in a circle of death. The Reuters news agency said Israel has approved the delivery of fuel for UN trucks in Gaza. While Israel, the UN and Hamas have not yet commented on the report. If true, the delivery would represent the first fuel supplies allowed into the enclave since October 7. Calls for the evacuation of patients at Al-Shifa hospital have grown after photos circulated of premature babies without any life support. Gaza health officials have said transfers of patients are impossible due to the fighting. MSF has said 15 medical workers have been allowed to enter the enclave, the first such entry since the war began. It comes as the UN reports more than half of Gaza's hospitals are not functioning. Israel says it has taken operational control of the Al-Shati refugee camp, home to more than 90,000 residents before the war, as they say their forces are tightening their grip on the northern Gaza Strip. Tens of thousands of demonstrators have gathered in Washington, D.C., underscoring continued widespread support for Israel in the U.S. in opposition to a ceasefire. Israel has said it intercepted a missile over the Red Sea. A siren sounded in Ely. The Houthis said they launched a barrage of missiles towards Israel. Along the Israel-Lebanon border, fighting has continued, with Israel's military saying it struck a Hezbollah observation post and other positions after launches were fired by fighters in Lebanon. At least 7 Palestinians were killed and 5 houses were destroyed in Israeli raids of Tulkarem refugee camp in the occupied West Bank. Click here to share on social media. Al-Qudra told Al Jazeera that he informed the International Committee of the Red Cross of the Israeli warning that it will raid Al-Shifa hospital, but the ministry has not yet received a response. The IACRC must take a stance to ensure the safety of all the patients inside the Al-Shifa medical center, the spokesman said. He added that Israel did not say exactly how or why it would enter the hospital complex. The bombardment has not stopped for a moment. There's shelling and heavy firing in the vicinity of the center. The Israeli military has not yet commented on al-Qudra's remarks. Ashraf al-Qudra, the Palestinian Health Ministry spokesman in Gaza, said the Israelis contacted a Palestinian health official and said they will raid the hospital in the coming minutes. And they told us to inform everybody not to be near the windows, al-Qudra said. The Council on American Islamic Relations, CAIR, denounced comments by Israel's far-right finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, who said earlier today the voluntary migration of Palestinians in Gaza is the right humanitarian solution. We ask President Biden to finally acknowledge what the world has known and witnessed, that Israel is engaged in a genocidal campaign of ethnic cleansing targeting all the Palestinian people, whether in Gaza's or other occupied Palestinian land, CAIR Executive Director Nihad Awad said in a statement. Silence on this issue and continuing silence on Israel's campaign of genocide in Gaza will long be remembered not only by Palestinians and Muslims worldwide, but also by all people who value human rights and dignity. As we reported yesterday, U.S. legal advocacy groups filed a lawsuit against Biden and senior members of his administration, accusing them of being complicit in Israel's genocide in Gaza. Read more about that lawsuit here.